Now recording.
All right. Give me a thumbs up in the Killer Wells room if you can hear me, folks. Give me a thumbs up. All right. Awesome. Awesome. So certainly some nice action in the market, but we're going to have a mindset discussion here. And our topic is going to be how to spot and track progress. Many traders come to me and ask, okay, now I've been getting some consistency. I want to scale up. Or other traders are super, super discouraged and they don't really know or understand what markers indicate success, failure, or progress in the market. So we're going to talk about those. I'm going to talk about 5 things to identify that's going to help you ascertain whether or not you're making progress in the market. And then we're going to talk about where you should pivot or what you should do. The first thing that we're going to have to, really understand is what is progress? What is progress? Now, progress would simply just be defined as moving forward, right? If something has gained some type of momentum or some type of distance, then, it's going to be called and considered progress, right? The real definition is just forward or movement, forward or onward movement toward a destination. So you could be going as fast or slow as you want. It's all progress. As it pertains to day trading, you can measure progress in many factors. It could be how many times you're right versus how many times you're wrong. It could be controlling your emotions, right? It could be time in trades. And for some, it could be money. They want to see their bank account grow. This tells them they're making progress. Now, as it pertains to solid trading and effective trading, there are a couple things that matter. We're going to talk about 5 things to identify, to spot, in order to recognize and track your progress and what to do, right? Now, you need to be moving forward for sure. So if you've received training in my Discord or in my community, kudos to you. All right, you're well on your way and you've already made progress. Even if you leave my community, leave my Discord, you now know more than you did the other day or did last week or last year. And the hopes is that you won't repeat the same behaviors. But if you decide to stick around and stay, then now you'll be held accountable to applying that training and development. And so as you go along, the first thing you should realize is that everybody's different. What's considered progress to another person or what's considered an accomplishment to one may not be the same to someone else. So this is why you have to be very, very careful when you're online, on YouTube, or on social media, and you're looking at the manufactured or doctored wins, even the legitimate wins of some of the traders that's out there. Now, if you really think about it, aside from posting for a video, here and there on YouTube or on your Instagram or what have you for motivation or just for a trade recap, really, who has the time to post every single day what they're winning and what they're making? So you have to understand that when you see these things, it's going to affect you mentally. Now, I can't tell you, this is a conversation for another day. I can't tell you what to do with your time, but personally, myself, I spend 0 time following other day traders' progress, following other day traders' wins and losses, or their social media posts. It does me no good. It is a complete time waster. But more importantly, as it pertains to this conversation, it will affect the mental side of your trading and your thought process, and it's going to affect your progress. Because what's going to happen is you're going to start to use what you saw as a marker, as a guiding post, as something that you're going to now use to say, well, if I'm not making that much, if I'm not making 5 figures in a trade or 5 figures in a day or 5 figures in a year or whatever, then I am a failed trader. When these individuals are different from you. Now, some are true, some are false, but the reality is that's not who you are. Additionally, I don't know where you are in your trading. You could be in your first year or 5th year. I don't know. And so for a 5th year and a first year trader, your milestones, your markers, and your progress is going to be different. So that's one thing that I'm very big on, and I want to help you to appreciate that. You've got to protect your mind as it pertains to setting goals and progress, right? You're going to set those. You need to be pragmatic and reasonable about your goals, and it's good to be incremental. Now, I teach traders to use the DAC inside the Discord. If you actually use the DAC while you're trading, which is a divide and conquer account management strategy, you're going to live to trade another day. And the purpose of using that setup is so that you don't get in your own way. You don't, when you see these massive wins from others, or when you see all kinds of data that could be enticing, You don't start to develop unrealistic expectations. All right. So let's get to the 5 things that you're going to need to know, that's going to really identify if you're making progress. All right. Now, if a person is actually moving forward, no matter where you are in your trading career, there's about 5 core things. Now, there's more that we can layer on, but they all come down to these 5 points, these 5 markers to see if you're making progress. So if you've ever wondered, wow, should I scale up? Should I start trading more contracts, more capital, more contract or rather asset classes, more stocks, more positions, more? Before you do that, run your trading journal, the items you have tracked, not what you think, but what's actually on the page, your actual progress. Run that up against this list and see how you do. 5 things. 5 things to spot that's going to say that you are making progress. The number one thing is that you actually follow your plan. You're following your trading thesis and plan. Are you following your plan every day? How long have you been doing this? Is it a week or 2, or has it been a year? Has it been 6 months, 8 months, 9 months? Are you patting yourself on the back because win, lose, or draw, no matter what, I'm following my plan? If you are, that is progress. Many of you guys came to me prior to, or maybe before you really understood how to trade. You came into Discord, and you just was all over the place, right? All over the place, right? And you really didn't understand what to do and how to trade. Some of you guys thought you knew something. Has it ever happened to you? You thought you knew a little something, but you didn't understand why you were losing a lot, right? Until someone just pointed it out to you. Well, the reality is, if you are now a little more disciplined and you are following your plan and you're a little more on track, and then this is something you should celebrate. All right. That's an indication that you have made some progress. No rush trades, right? No forced trades, none of that kind of stuff, right? None of that. Okay. So the first thing to track and say, all right, am I making some progress? Write it down. Have I been following a trade plan? Yeah, I'm hit or miss sometimes. Then you're not ready. You need to keep working at it. I'm inconsistent sometimes. You're not ready. Sometimes I get off, my emotions get the best of me, or something happens and, I break plan. Then you are not ready to scale up or anything. I don't care how long you've been trading. You are not ready. All right. Number 2, your emotions are calm and relaxed. Your emotions, you are calm and relaxed. Now, I'm not saying you can't get excitable. You can't yell out, put the money in the bag, spy, whatever. That's fine. That's cool. We all get excited over a nice trade. But do you have a nervous pit in your stomach before you trade? Every day or every trade? If you do, you ain't ready. You're not ready. You need to work on disciplining yourself, calming yourself down so that when you sit down in front of your computer, it's just X's and O's. So you shouldn't have a rush of adrenaline. You shouldn't have this, this excitement or these massive highs and lows, these swings. No, you want to be disciplined. How do you get there? Time in the game. Time in the game. One way is to have a trade thesis and trade plan and to follow it, as we discussed in point number 1. So the second point, the second identifying marker to whether or not you're making progress is you're relaxed. You've got your emotions in check. Number 3, it's a big one for me. When you trade, you do not look at your P&L while in a trade. Are you still that person checking your money every 5 seconds? You should be staying focused on the trade and your targets. That's how you trade. You cannot focus on more than one thing at a time. Now, I know the ladies will get me, especially my mom. She'll get me. Every lady will tell you that they can walk and chew gum at the same time, and they have an ability to multitask. And the reality is they may be better at it than men, but nobody does. Why? Because the human brain cannot accurately and effectively focus on more than one disciplined task at a time. If you are distracted somewhere else, your mind is distracted from the main trade or the main thing, and you will fail. That's like a person flying an airplane and saying, you know what, I think I can play a video game at the same time. I've gotten so good at this. I can fly a plane with 200 souls or 200 bodies on this plane, and I'm gonna go ahead and play this video game. Candy Crush. It doesn't even make sense, and you wouldn't put your life in that person's hands, would you? Then why
are you risking your money while distracted? The money does not matter. The money is the byproduct of trading. All right? That's how it works. The money is the result of you executing level to level, target to target, area of interest to area of interest using your levels, the VVP indicator, the Wealth Wells volume profile, whatever. But you cannot take your eyes off the ball and expect to hit your target. Doesn't work. So if you have not gotten to the point where you're focused on your trades, but you're worried about money and you're looking at your P&L, you're not ready. Can you check your P&L after? Sure. Can you check your P&L midday after at the end of close? Sure, but not while you're in the trade. It should not be on your screen. It should not be in your active trader ladder. It should not be in view. Don't worry about it. You know good and well how far you're down. And if you have a proper trade plan, there should be a stop loss allowing you to only risk a certain amount of your trading account anyway, be it 1% or 2%, whatever it is. All right. So that's number 3. Shouldn't be watching your P&L. If you're still watching it, you ain't ready. That is a lack of progress, my friend. Number 4, you no longer look to try to catch the big whopper, the big move. You don't look for those types. You don't look to say, okay, I'm going to time this precisely right. And then that's not how it works. You are simply entering and exiting at your desired areas, and you do not care about whether this thing rips or dips. If it continues to move past your threshold, then hey, you trail. If not, so what? You don't say to yourself, man, I only got 10. I could have got 50. That's a lack of progress. When someone says this to themselves, I only got this. I should have got that. It's a lack of progress. It's a lack of progress. All right. The number five thing, an item that will indicate whether or not you are making progress is preparedness. Did you do the prep work and pre-market? And do you ever miss a day? I never miss prep work. Now, if you ever think deeply, if you sit down in front of your terminal, in front of your computer, or if you're trading on your phone or whatever, and you know deep down inside, I'm not really prepared, but I'm good enough to catch a move, you sound like a fool. You are going to lose your money. You are not ready. You are not making progress. These, what people call lucky windfalls or, lucky whipsaws and all that stuff, when you don't really know what you're doing, YOLOs and the like. No, that's not how you trade, folks. That's not how it works. Now we're talking about how to spot and track the progress. So we've talked about 5 markers to identify the progress, how to spot it. Now, how do we track it? Well, just that. In your Wealth Wells 90-day day trading journal, which you can get in the Trading Resources channel, you should be writing down. And there are markers there for your plan, things to help you track time in trade, time to target, and other metrics so that you can see if you are actually following your plan. Then there's pages there for you to write down your emotions and your relax. There's a specific bar, a specific square there that says, how do I feel about trading? I could always tell when somebody's going to succeed in the market. After some time, they have mountains of data that they can start to draw conclusions on. If you've been trading in the market and you have nothing to show, you are a poor trader, period. You don't have papers, you don't have journals, you don't have anything written down. You have nothing to show. You're telling me that if I paid you as a professional ball player $20 million a year, you're telling me you're never going to get better because you don't believe in watching the tape. You don't believe in reviewing the tape, so to speak, in a sports analogy. You don't believe in looking at yourself to get better. So if you haven't written these things down and you're not tracking them every single day, or if you start and then stop and then start and then stop, listen, that's not how trading works. You asked to be in one of the most complicated environments. This is it. But it's also the most lucrative thing you will ever do. If you stop right now, if you leave this community, if you just say, I'm done with trading, it doesn't matter. This will still be the most lucrative opportunity you've ever had. Doesn't it require metrics, data, work, ethic? Yes. So you're going to write down your plan, and at the end of the week, month, and quarter, you are going to review all the times you have stuck to your plan and the times you have not. You're going to look at the times you have not, stuck to your plan, And you are going to write down how you felt that day. What were the peripheral items that kind of distracted you and why? And those now are going to be the items that you work on going forward because they prevented you from getting to your goal. They prevented you from following your plan. Sometimes people get off track and they don't understand what took them off track. And this is one reason why it keeps happening. Man, I just keep doing this. Has it ever happened to you? You said to yourself, I keep doing this and it gets so frustrating. Why do I keep? It's because number one, you haven't identified the problem. Number two, you haven't had someone, training, development, whatever, to hold you accountable. Number three, you aren't frequently tracking that problem, tracking the progress on it, and then adjusting. There's three things that happens there. There's no hopeful wishing. You can't just hope that you get better. You have to actually be better. Break the problem down into bite-sized chunks and address it. That's why community helps. That's why development and mentoring and training helps because what I do is I help you see yourself for who you really are, be it a good or bad trader. Once you've got that data, then you can move on from there, right? So that's how you're going to track your progress. You're going to write it down. So following your plan, how do I feel today? Being relaxed. Did I watch my P&L? And it should be to the point. One trader in our Discord, we call her the swing queen. she mentioned in a testimonial inside of the testimonials channel that she had made more on her job over the last 2 weeks in the market than she did on her job. And she didn't even realize it. Now, this is a statement that makes me very proud because that's how it should be. You should know, yes, whether or not you are winning and losing over the long haul, but you should just be progressing and you should look up one day and say, oh, wow, I guess I did make my money, or I guess I did make more money, or I guess I did make my money back, or whatever. That would show progress. All right. And then you're going to watch, you're going to make sure you note when the market is really aggressively moving and you haven't gotten the entry, did I stay calm or did I chase? Am I looking for those huge moves? Am I only trying to catch those? Right. That's an indication of someone who's kind of gambling, not following the plan. Right. That's a lack of progress. It's a lack of progress. And then, of course, you want to look at your 90-day day trading journal and all the days where the line items are there for the sites you should be checking, for the data points you should be checking. If you don't have those filled in, you have to focus and dial in. If you don't have them filled in, you're not making progress on that front. All right. Now, let's talk about for a moment some incremental things that you can be doing that will suggest progress, right? That you're making a little, incremental day after day. Let's talk about just a few things. All right. Now, we talked about the 5, right? Those are the main 5. Following your plan, being relaxed. You don't watch your P&L. You're not trying to catch the big moves, and you're prepared with your pre-market every single day. Every single day. That's the main 5. Okay. Let's talk about some incremental ones. All right. So one incremental marker to show that you are making progress is that you have gotten good entering at level to level. Level to level. So your entries and your exits are going to be tied to your levels, right? The next is going to be your stop loss. Every single trade that you take, you are going to have, or you will have had, a defined stop loss on the screen. And for all of you guys who are cheating, you're not moving it. Now, tell the truth. Has that ever happened to you? You got a stop loss on the screen, but then you start to move it and dance and move it and dance. And then for those who are poor traders, they keep getting stopped out. And for others who are trying to make some progress, it catches you from time to time. Put that stop loss on the screen, get a feel for the stock, and leave it alone. All right? Now, the result of a poor entry is just less capital. The result of a poor entry, the byproduct of a poor entry is not move the stop loss. All right? That's not how this thing works. Okay. That's the result. That's how it works. Okay. So that's just a few things, level to level and stop loss. Those are some more micro topics or micro things that's going to help you identify whether or not you're making some progress. And if you are, you should celebrate those wins. Now, if you're making progress, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's time for you to size up. That's not what we're talking about. It doesn't mean it's time for you to get more money. What it does mean is it's time for you to discipline yourself even more and do it consistently over a sustained period of time. That's what we're talking about here. All right. So our discussion, how to spot and track progress. I've given you 5 overarching things to identify what progress looks like as far as day trading. We've discussed the definition of progress. It's just forward, onward movement toward a destination. Your destination is the consistency and to be profitable. That's it. What that looks like to you, you'll have to define, whether it's $50 a day or $500 or $500,000 a day. That's up to you and your ability and your capital. But either way, making small incremental steps moving forward is progress. We also talked about not comparing yourself. Don't go on social media and YouTube to compare. It's okay if you want to collect some data here and there. That's fine. People like to get little tips, but please don't compare yourselves, folks. Most of that information is not true, and the other half does not apply to you. And then I gave you 5 markers for any trader that identifies whether or not they're making progress. Number 1, following your plan. Number 2, you're relaxed. You got your emotions in check. Number 3, you don't watch your P&L. Number 4, you are not trying to catch those big moves. And number 5, you don't miss a day of pre-market and being prepared in the market. All right. Listen, I say this many times and I'll continue to say it. If you want to do better, not just in the market, but in life, there are 3 words that will change your trading career. 3 words that'll change your mindset, 3 words that'll help you and push you to be better. You know what those 3 words are? These same 3 words changed my life at one point as it pertains to business, as it pertains to income. These same 3 words allowed me to get my mind focused so that I can expect more, get more, be better, and do better. The 3 words are raise your standards. People don't always get what they want. People don't always get what they need, but they always get their standards. If you hold your trading to a higher standard, track the metrics, stay inside of a community that's effective, get training, you will inevitably progress. No one's saying you got to be a multimillionaire tomorrow, but the ideal is progress, not perfection. It's been a pleasure talking with you guys. Let's get back to the market. This is our mindset discussion. KD signing out.